There we go, captain and match winner embrace as they walk back towards those 7,500 Coventry fans packing that away end here at Ewood Park. And there is the manager who has masterminded this promotion back to the top flight of English football. 25 years they've been away. They said they'd be back. They probably didn't think it would be quite this long, but now Coventry City are back in the Premier League. Tim Sherwood, Joby McAnuff here with me. Joby, for much of the night, it didn't think it was going to happen.
No, but the best teams find a way, Jules, and over the course of the season, yes, they played some brilliant football, score goals for fun, but more times than not, they were the ones who were able to find those big moments in games to get them the wins and the points, and I think tonight was a point in case in that. No, they weren't at their free-flowing best. These games can be nervy, they're difficult situations to overcome where you sort of feel like you're there but you're not quite, and I feel that sort of came across in the performance, but ultimately great bit of quality on the delivery. Big Bobby Thomas rising when it mattered the most, and a thumping header in front of those amazing Coventry City fans, and I think the way they all would have dreamt that to get themselves up at the end, being able to be here and celebrating with their team. Yeah,
it wasn't always going their way tonight, Coventry, but they found a way. 26th set-piece goal of the season, and Bobby Thomas writes his name into Coventry City folklore. Tim Sherwood, you've won Premier League titles with the club who are hosting us tonight. You've won promotion. Tell me what those Coventry players are going through right now as they stand in front of those adoring fans.
Oh, there's no better feeling. Certainly, they want to go. You want to win the championship. That's what you want to do. You want a trophy at the end of it. I've managed to do it at a fantastic support at Portsmouth. And Blackburn so long ago now. Let me have a look, 91, 92. But that was via the playoffs. So a couple of promotions, but there's nothing like it. I mean, you come in to play football to play in front of adoring fans, and that's what these guys have done this season. It's been tough for this football club, really tough for them supporters, but they're getting something to appreciate at the moment. You know, these players have fought. It might not be pretty at times. At times it has been. They've scored a lot of goals. You know, but sometimes you just need to find a way. We're seeing that at the moment in the Premier League with Arsenal. If they can't open teams up, they find a way from a set piece. Big Bobby Thomas, I love him. I love Kitchen and all the two centre-halves. Put their body on the line. They really dig in. They deserve it. They deserve it. And now tonight they got outplayed by Blackburn. Blackburn played their part. They made it very difficult. It was never going to be easy. To win promotion's not easy. You have to just find a way. And them fans deserve it. They really do. It's been hard times for Coventry City, and I'm pleased to see them back in the Premier League, and they can just enjoy it now.
Yeah, you go back to those fans and everything that they've been through, playing at different stadiums, different parts of the country, and again, it's all been a little step at a time. Obviously, Doug King coming in has been absolutely huge, and that good news around buying the stadium, feeling like they've got a home now, and this man talking about feeling at home. What a job he's done in terms of the turnaround from where they were when he came in to this attacking dynamic force that we've seen all over this season. And yeah, they are moments that live with you forever, Jules. You reminded me 14 years ago, but they're special bonds. You know, no matter what else happens between now, some of these players will be a part of that journey, some will not. But what you'll never forget is this night and these feelings that you get to share that don't come along often.
This is when you're a kid. That's why you want to be a footballer, Jules. This reason, not because you want the money. It's nothing to do with money. They don't thinking about what they're going to get paid now in the Premier League. It doesn't make it immaterial. What they're worried about is winning. They're winning something, you know, and winning promotion for a club who's been out of the Premier League for 25 years. They've achieved something what thousands of others of players and the turnover of managers. They've almost had 1,000 managers, I mean 15, I'm over-exaggerating, but they've achieved something together with that group of fans, and that support tonight has been absolutely magnificent for this Coventry City team. I'm really delighted for them, I really am. I had a short period there, and I wish Doug King was the chairman when I was there. Maybe we might have had a little bit more success.
The transformations has been remarkable. We mentioned earlier the administrations, the nomad periods when they were away, didn't have a home, you know, sunk as far as the 4th tier of English football. 2018 they were still playing in League Two, Jody, and here they are now heading into the 26-27 season as a top-flight side.
Yeah, as I say, and I mean that man in screen has to take so much of that credit. But obviously we've spoken about Mark Robins as well and the role he played in that rise up the league. And it's a group of players that's been together a very long time. So they've suffered those disappointments. Again, going back to my own career, losing a playoffs and then be able to come back the next year. I'm sure some of them would have used it, you know, to really kick on this season. And you know, again, you just have to look at these scenes here, and it's absolutely incredible. And you could feel the tension among the players. Actually, the fans were great tonight, but until you get over the line, until you know it's absolutely mathematically done, that's where all this emotion now comes out, and that joy that, again, only nights like tonight can bring.
The players celebrate, the fans celebrate. 7,500 who managed to get a ticket here tonight. Thousands more at home in living rooms, pubs, fan zones, as we showed you shots earlier of, now enjoying every moment of this. And the man who's masterminded it all joins us now, Frank Lampard. Joins us live.
Thank you, mate.
Frank,
Thank you.
many congratulations. What was that moment like when Bobby Thomas leapt like a salmon and pounded the header home?
Well, yeah, I mean, incredible moment. Because we had a game had gone and you worry because we weren't, you know, at our fluid best, but we were pushing a lot. But the quality of the ball in, the power of the header, which Bobby's done for us a good few times, but what it means to the club. After that, we had to sit out. We didn't know whether to attack or to stay on the ball or whatever. I was like, go on, have another go, but don't lose it.
That was surreal. Michael was the same. He was like, get forward. Go on, have a go.
I didn't know what advice I should give then, but it's what it's about, coming here and getting a point at this point of the season is not easy. And the stresses and strains and the worries and everything. We knew we were very nearly there, but to get it over the line like this for this club after 25 years, wow, I mean, that.
What do you feel now when you see those 7,500? And you can just picture them back at home in Coventry as well, right now.
Well, it's amazing. I talked before about the fan base. I talked more about what they've gone through and all the disappointments, and they've stuck with the club and all the stories. And then now they get this moment. It's a serious football club. I didn't even realise. I knew the history. I knew Coventry, grew up Coventry, Premier League, First Division team, whatever. But this incredible fan base and what it means to the city and what these players have achieved. We came in 15 months ago, 17th in the league. Mark Robins had done an incredible job to get them back up where they were. But then to go and get automatic promotion as a non-parachute team with 3 games to go, those boys there, how they've listened and trained and everything they've done every day, it makes me feel emotional because they're so great to work with and they deserve every second of celebrating and getting it done what they've done there. This league is hard. It's getting harder because even the teams that are fighting for relegation are teams that have got players and squads and that. People think it's easy. It's not. It's harder. And these boys have managed to achieve something pretty unique and absolutely special and incredible. I'm delighted.
Well said, Frank. You're a man who's won Premier League trophies, you've lifted the Champions League trophy, you won FA Cups, you won England caps galore. Let's talk about you now. How does this feel? How proud of yourself are you for what you've achieved here? This is your first promotion as a manager.
I'm proud, and sometimes you know, all managers talk about the players, but I am proud, and I'm proud myself and the staff, the boys, me, Chris, and Joe drove up 15 months ago, whatever, in a people carrier, and we went into a bit of an unknown, as you always go into a job. We've fallen in love with how the players, how they've reacted, the fan base, how it's reacted. So it's right up there for me for what I may have achieved. I was fortunate to be in great Chelsea teams. Winning the Champions League, winning leagues was amazing. Sometimes I could thank Didier Drogba for that or John Terry for that. Now to do this with this club in the circumstances that we've done it, for me overachieve, and I'm not belittling the players there. They've risen their game up by pure work, and I'm very proud to be the manager of that.
Frank, why did your gut tell you to come to Coventry? You had a lot of opportunities to go to other clubs. What was it about Coventry what finally made that decision for you?
I think there's things you learn, and things you learn from things you did well, maybe your own failings, but you get more perspective. And when I was out of a job, there were some opportunities, but I was looking at them, I wasn't sure. I thought, I went back to Chelsea and I went back into a really, really difficult time. And I learned more in 6 weeks than I maybe did in longer periods at different football clubs, because it has to be right and feel right at the right moment. Now, you don't know what's going to come of it. When I looked at Coventry, I just saw a club that Mark Robins had done great work with, an established club that we all know, Coventry. And I looked at the squad and I thought, yeah, there's some players there we can work with, and hopefully, transmit your style. Hopefully work at the level where it's not Premier League, and if you lose 2 games, you should get sacked. It's not far off that, but it was a chance to get my head down and work, and that was it. The rest you don't know. It's an unknown.
You couldn't have dreamed it would be this. Like
No.
you said, it was a non-parachute club.
Yeah.
You're not a favourite to get promoted.
No, and Tim, the thing that people don't forget, but these boys went from 17th to 5th last year, and Sunderland beat us, and we were so unlucky in that semi. So the resilience to come back again and to be able to push again and do the consistent stuff. Automatic promotion wasn't in our plan. We sat down in the summer, we talked about how perfect can the season be, considering what we are and what we can do and everything. And we were like, can we get in the playoffs? Can we get maybe 3rd or 4th to play the home tie, 2nd, which we didn't do last year? And now these boys have done that, and they've got up with 3 games to go. I felt a little bit. There's always a stress and a panic. Last year we got into the playoffs in the last moment. Everton, we stayed up, 2 games to go. Chelsea got in the Champions League last game. Thank God I haven't got to do that this year. We want to go and win it, don't get me wrong, but it's such a good feeling that the lads have managed to get it over the line at this point.
Yeah. Frank, just in terms of your own journey, it's great to see the emotion coming out of you, because unless you've stood where you are, I don't think people quite understand the pressure around management. And I think sometimes people do forget the first couple of jobs. Brilliant job at Derby, first time round at Chelsea, fantastic. Did you feel you had a little bit of a point to prove coming back into management? Because we all sit here, and like Tim said earlier, you don't need to do it, but there's a passion, there's a drive there to want to prove people wrong, I suppose.
Yeah, I mean, everything I've ever done, probably my career, has been a bit of a point to prove, to be honest. It's been a big driving force in my career as a young player to get through and to try and be better than the one next to me or the one down the road. So I'm probably lucky that I've got that ingrained. It's quite stressful because you're forever fighting against something. So even in good time playing or good time with Chelsea or keeping Everton up, I'm always thinking of the next thing. So I think I will always have that. And you also, in this game, like, if you're going to worry about what everyone says about you, and the 1 minute you'd be brilliant, the next minute you'd be an idiot, you'd be out of a job, like, I've got much more balance with that, which has helped my mindset.
Do you feel that's where you've grown as a manager from those earlier experiences? Because you have just radiated calmness this season, where everyone else is getting a bit carried away through that real wobble, and it was a wobble, leading up to Middlesbrough. And there was a lot of us that watched a lot of Championship football and thought, oh, this doesn't go the right way. But I've got to say, you just kept so calm. I'm sure the players responded to that and delivered such a good performance.
Yeah, I mean, I had my moments, and I think the trick of being a manager is we spend hours in the office sometimes, like, grilling over it all, and then you've got to walk out with a calm demeanour or the smiley face when you don't quite feel that. But yeah, again, I think when you trust the players, then it's much easier. You know, they're such a good group of players, and we know the modern squads now, you need 22 or 24, whatever. 10, 12, 11 of them don't like you very much on a Saturday when you pick the team. And I've got people like Jake Bidwell, Jamie Allen, I'm going to name check them there, that don't play every week. They're the best trainers, they're the best preparers, they're the best voice in the dressing room. And I don't think we could have done what we did this season without Jamie Allen and Jake Bidwell, and I'll miss out others, Ben Wilson, people that have been incredible that aren't always playing. And that's binded this squad together. So in my moments of suffering like we do, man, you're always trying to find solutions. Those boys are sometimes sorted out for themselves, so I'll pass some of that on to those lads.
And just finally, Frank, before we let you go, what happens now? You've got another game on Tuesday, you want to seal the title, but these lads want to party, don't they? What do you do?
I know they can have a couple of beers on the way home, but we've got to go now. We've got to push on. I said to them before the game, because they had a bit of a party after Sheffield Wednesday when we're not promoted, but you know, we all know we were not going to turn around a 30-goal difference. So when they trained a bit average on Tuesday, Wednesday, I had the ump, and I was like, we've got a lot of work to do. It'll be a similar message. Now we're there, it's nice comfort. They deserve to have a beer, and the fans will have a load of beers. But they deserve that moment. But we do have to get our heads back in Portsmouth, because we know at our best, you know, we've had 3 draws on the bounce now. It's understandable in this tense moment, but we want to go and do it. We've got Portsmouth, it'll be a tough game at home. We've got Wrexham, it'll be a tough game. If we play like we've played all season, at our best with the edge, like we played in the last 20 minutes, we will be fine. But we've got to try and sustain that for our own self, for our own feeling. We want to finish the season and go every bit from July 1st pre-season to the end. We were spot on. We'll try and do that.
Listen, many congratulations for the rest of the season. Enjoy it. Good luck on Tuesday and for next season as well.
Thanks very much.
Many
Appreciate your
congratulations,
time.
Frank. Thank you.
Thanks, boys. Appreciate it. Thanks very much.
What's this like to be celebrating promotion with your teammates, with your fans?
No, it's amazing. It's amazing. Can't describe. I see my family in the crowd. They come down to the front, so I got to see them as well. It's an amazing feeling. Had a feeling we were going to score as well. We always do stuff like this. But no, it's amazing.
What's the last few weeks been like, knowing that you're so close, you've just got to get it over the line?
It's been all right. You know, we wanted to do it. We've had a couple of games where we probably could have won and got it done quicker, but you know, we knew the moment was going to come. We're a good team, and you know, if you look at the fans, you know, they packed out tonight. We couldn't leave without doing it today.
What does it mean to do it for the fans? Because you've spoken about the amazing support that they've given you, the atmospheres they've created in your games this season.
It means everything. You know, they make the city go round. You know, the club makes the city go round, and they love the club so much. As you can see, I don't know if I can barely hear you or myself right now. But they're the best fans. You know, they're still here. They've absolutely packed out the away end tonight, and they pack out our home stadium every week. It's an unbelievable club, unbelievable fan base, and I'm so happy we could do it for them.
What about the job that Frank Lampard's done and how he's brought you on as a player, what he's done for your career?
No, he's done so much, you know, to the club, for me as a player. You know, improving me day in, day out, and being there to help me on and off the pitch. You know, allowed me to get better and score some crucial goals, which can help us all out and get to the Premier League. But he's done amazing things for the club. You know, the consistency to keep us in the mindset, the winning drive he has is unbelievable, and to stay consistent throughout the year after coming in last year and showing that he can turn us into such a good team, to then come in this year and, you know, from the start of the season almost we've been right at the top, and now to get promoted is credit to us all and credit to the gaffer and his staff.
And how much are you looking forward to showing what you can do in the Premier League next season?
Yeah, no, I can't wait. You know, it's been my dream to get to the Premier League since a young boy, and for me to have the opportunity now to show everyone I'm ready to go. I'm ready for a big summer ahead, and I can't wait to step out there in the Premier League.
Thank you, Jack. Go and enjoy the celebrations. Well done.
And from a key player on the pitch, we've been joined by the owner of Coventry City, Doug King, the owner of Premier League Coventry City. How does that sound, Doug?
That sounds, surreal, but I guess we needed a point and we got one. We've been great all year. The boys did it the hard way, but they did it, and listen behind that, what it means to the 7,500, 8,000 fans who've come here. I mean, they've been starved of it for a long time, and you can feel it.
Yeah, back on the Premier League map after 25 years. Talk to us about the significance for not only the football club, but for the city as a whole.
Look, 25 years is a huge amount of time, and when you get relegated, I think, you know, you might bounce back or whatever, and if you don't get back and you go through some tough times, you feel like it's never going to happen, but things change. Getting out of this league's really difficult, and we did it. No parachute, great recruitment, great coaching, great lads. Just got it together, you know, we got our whole city together, we got the club together, and we changed the direction of everything. So I'm super proud of everybody. They've had the whole of the season, you know, in front, and I think it's really difficult to be a front runner for that long, and they're not used to that. But they handled it, and today they handled it again, just about. Got over the line, and you can hear it.
Yeah. Talk to us about the manager, because when you made the decision in November 2024 to change the manager and let Mark Robins go after all his achievements and bring in Frank Lampard, there were many people who questioned you. They're not questioning you now.
There were a lot of people who questioned that because they'd known what Mark had done and the depths they'd been to and what he had done to drag them from those depths, and he did an incredible job, and you know, he knows that because we had some good times together. He's been on the media today, and he's been really generous, and he knows that I love working with him. We made a change. We felt like we had to change a bit of direction after the coaching team sort of changed, and we moved in with Frank, and here we are. And I'm sure Mark will get his moment with Stoke. Great city. It's a great city, great football club. But this is our time. It's our moment, and he started that, and we've finished it.
We're grateful that you've left the party to come and speak to us, but I'd like you to look at the monitors down here. We've just got some images of you a few moments ago.
Oh no, don't do that.
With the players and the fans. What was this like, this moment?
Listen, the boys are incredible.
There we go.
I don't know, look at that, it looked like it was waddling or something. It wasn't a very elegant one, was it? But, you know, there it is. They've been amazing, the fans. Look, they didn't agree with a lot of that. They didn't agree with the Mark move, but they realised that I would explain it to them, and they listened to that. They saw what we did. I've always tried to be transparent about what we're doing. It's a hard job to get out of this league. It'll be a harder job next year to do what we're going to do, but I'm not thinking about that. I'm loving this moment because it's been so long in coming. You never think it's going to come, but it did come, and you know, I was up there, and I had a little tear in my eye because I know how hard they've worked and we've all worked for this moment.
Doug, you talk about it maybe feeling like it's not going to come. You've had to have a playoff final defeat, the semis last year, which was a real sickener given the type of performance. But does that make tonight and the success even sweeter? And do you feel actually you're probably in a bit of a better position now to move forward with that challenge of the Premier League?
Yeah, you know, it felt like a bit early at Luton, but it was so close. Then we had the semi in the FA Cup that was madness, and then we had, obviously, it hurt last year, I would say. I felt we were good last year. I was up there with my son, and on that corner against Sunderland, he put his tie over his eyes, and I said, don't do that, and then it went in, and it was like, oh my God. It was a bit like that today, to be fair, but we were where we are. When you get in those good positions, you get used to it, and they got used to how it felt. It felt a bit better maybe than it did in those earlier times, and we saw that they handled that pressure throughout the season and got it done.
There's a man who took this club, his name's Jack Walker, and he was 26 years in the wilderness, but to the Premier League, and in 3 years they won it. Are you dreaming of that?
Listen, I'm not dreaming of that today because we know how things are in the Premier League, but I am enjoying and thinking about the challenge. I think it's another challenge for us to navigate. We're a big club, we're a big city.
Yep.
We've got a huge following, you can feel it.
See that, yeah.
And you'll be going mad today in the city, mad. We'll get behind us and we'll see what we can do. We'll think about it, you know, very carefully, and we've got a really good team at Coventry with Frank, you know, with Dean Austin and those guys, and we'll work well on trying to make a good stab of it.
Yeah.
And how much, in terms of irons in the fire, preparations, have you been able to start already? How much does you now press the go button now that it's official?
Look, I think we've been top of the league for a while, so we look at all the scenarios and work out what we may or may want to do. We're very closely held on how we think about stuff. We have to be. We have to try and find our advantages. You know, we're coming up and we know who we're competing against, but I'm feeling like we've done some great work. We've expanded that whole recruitment, you know, part of our business really effectively and efficiently. So, listen, we'll give it a good go. I told my guys, listen, don't think about it. Let's just keep it nice and calm. Bit of philosophy and think about where we want to go, because we have to do it our way. If we follow others, okay, fine, but we'll do it our way, and hopefully, if we can follow what we've done here, maybe we'll do okay.
I've heard some Coventry fans saying they're concerned about Frank leaving. Is there anything you can say to them now? I know he's got another year left on his contract, but anything you can reassure them?
Look, Frank's done an unbelievable job. He, you know, put himself in the arena in November of 24, and he didn't know how it would go. He had a feeling that he wanted to be back. He liked the project we were working on, he knew he had to get something done, and it was a big moment for him. And look what he's done. No parachute. You know, we haven't gone mad in the market. We've improved a lot of our players. We've kept them together. They know how it works. You've got a close-knit community there. Listen, he's a very, very talented head coach. I love working with him. He's articulate, he's clever, he's smart. He's challenging when he needs to be challenging. And I hope he's learned a bit with us, and I've learned a bit with him. And hopefully that'll continue.
Some nice moments there. We're seeing you a short time ago, embracing on the pitch.
He knows I love him. Yeah. Come on, Frank. Top man.
Doug, just on that in terms of, you know, Frank and the job that he's done, and I'll just go back to the January window where you really did need that little bit of a boost. And one thing I've got to give you huge credit for, you've never sort of overpromised. You've been very open with the fan base about the investment.
Yeah.
And I can imagine Frank knocking the door down saying, listen, if I'm going to be here, we want a challenge. But you went and did that, and you did back him in January with the signings that you made, not just on Yeka, but some of the players who ended up being squad players, but really pushed on some of the boys that were playing.
Yeah, I mean, we felt like we were lean, let's put it like that, as we went into the season. I was okay with that, but we knew there would be tougher times ahead. We had a great start. We were really shooting the lights out, weren't we? When you're in a position like we were in, you don't get many of those. So you have to hit the studs in, right? I know that. You have to be careful. Everybody thinks you're going to go crazy. I think we worked it well, but we knew we were going to reinforce, and we were going to make sure this was our moment, because, look, we may never have had a greater chance. And this, we haven't been there in 25 years. And when you realise that, you don't muck about. And we didn't muck about.
Absolutely.
Doug, thank you very much. We must go and let you enjoy it.
That's
Enjoy
really
your night.
kind. Listen, thanks, guys.
Well
Great
done.
coverage.
Congratulations.
Yeah,
Really appreciate it.
Yeah, really nice to see you. Many, many congratulations. I'll take that for you. Enjoy your night. Enjoy the summer. We'll see you in the Premier League. Thank you very much indeed. Doug King.
Michael, such a huge effort from your team tonight. How do you assess that performance?
Look, we're disappointed to lose a goal so late, but I thought we were brilliant tonight. You know, third game in 6 days. What we gave in the game, I thought we were a better team in the first half. I had the better opportunities, should have scored, and then we get ahead in the game, and you know, obviously, it's human nature, I think, with the situation we're in, to sit a little bit deeper. And but I thought we didn't give up very many chances. You know, it was just and obviously we're undone by a set piece and great delivery and it's a great header. But yeah, look, we're disappointed because you know we were so close to getting the 3 points. But ultimately, you know, there's a lot more positives from us. You know, really some really good performances.
I know you suggested before the game that the atmosphere here tonight, 7,500 Coventry fans here tonight, could inspire your team as well. Is that the way you saw it play out?
Well, look, you know, the most important thing is that the team improve their performances and their home form. You know, it's not been good this season, and we have to give the supporters something. Hopefully, you know, they saw something tonight. They saw a team that is prepared to fight for everything. A team that is, you know, really severely restricted with a lot of injuries as well. You know, our squad has been decimated, particularly in the last sort of since the international break. So look, you know, all you can ask is the players give everything and the supporters get behind them, and they did that tonight. You know, what the away fans bring is up to them, but certainly in the performances where the away team has brought a big support, the likes of Middlesbrough, West Brom, you know, we've not been beaten in any of those games. The unfortunate thing is that we've not managed to win any of those tight games either, but we're taking points, and we're trying to climb our way to safety.
So there we go. That is Michael O'Neill with Gary Weaver, the Blackburn Rovers boss, so close to beating Frank Lampard in his side and making their promotion party wait for a few more days. But Blackburn, in the end, having to settle for a point that does move them a step closer to Championship survival. Meanwhile, while we were hearing from him inside the Coventry dressing room, the party continues. Frank Lampard's in amongst it. The players bouncing up and down. They've got their promotion T-shirts on. Job done for them. They've had that sort of state of limbo since the draw at the weekend against Sheffield Wednesday. Knew they needed a point when they came here, and for much of the night found it hard going. Blackburn were impressive against them, took the lead, but in the end that Bobby Thomas equaliser means they can party like that. There's Doug King, who just minutes ago was stood here chatting with us, and now the owner of the club is in there being sprayed with his champagne. These are the moments these Coventry players and everyone connected to the club have been waiting for. We've talked about the 25 years, but this season they have been the standout side in the division, and an absolutely drenched Doug King is in there. They are Premier League, that's what they're singing. They are going up, and they're going to have some nights, aren't they? But as we heard Frank Lampard say to us on the programme, a couple of beers, and then we focus again on Tuesday night and a home game against Portsmouth. There should be some atmosphere there. Let's bring you some more reaction, because a short time ago we spoke to Brandon Thomas-Asante.
Well done, Brandon. What's it like being able to celebrate this now?
Oh, we got some madmen behind you, by the way. It's going off. But obviously, we're just happy to get over the line right now. Obviously, it was a tough game. But you know, kind of like by any means, as long as we get the job done. And now we've got one part, which is to be promoted, which we're buzzing for. But our mind's going to go into Tuesday and winning the championship, which is of course what we set out to do. So, yeah.
How has it been these last few weeks, knowing that you're so close and going into tonight's game, knowing that you're all but promoted already?
I mean, I guess I'm a bit of a weird character. Like, it wasn't done until it's done, sort of thing. Yeah. And I think all of the lads were like that, sort of thing. Like, we wanted to win the game and any opportunity, sort of thing. But To get it done today is honestly such a relief, and you can see it with the boys. So.
They're all listening, aren't they?
They're the mad guys.
What about your journey, Brandon? Because you played in League One and League Two, and you dropped into non-league, and now you've made yourself a Premier League player. How do you reflect on that? How have you done it?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, I just honestly, glory to God, because there's been trials and, tests along the way. When you're a young player, you get into a first team environment, you want to sort of just immediately go up. And of course, that's what we all want to do, but it doesn't always go like that. So I'm just grateful to have had the support and, the opportunity to be able to bounce back and to go to like I say, drop into National League on loan to try and prove yourself, go to League Two, and just any opportunity to be out there to take lessons and to try and climb. And I'm just really grateful to have been able to do that. But one thing was getting to the Premier League, but the next thing is actually performing there, which is the focus. So I'm not resting by any means.
Who are you looking forward to playing against?
Honestly, all of them. I think there's going to be no prisoners, so I'm looking forward to it, and I want to continue the journey there. Yeah.
And you want these celebrations to continue now, don't you? A title to play for.
That's what I'm saying. There's much more to go for. We got, I don't know what records are there, but scoring charts, obviously getting as many points as we can, and being champions is the main thing. So we're going to go and chase that down as well.
Well done, Brandon. Thank you.
Cheers, thanks. Nice one.
Yeah, it's already been a record-breaking season, points and wins for Coventry City, and still more games to go and a title to be won, of course. It has been a long, long wait to get back to the big time. A famous sign that was held up at Villa Park that day 25 years ago when they were relegated on the left will be back, it said. The plan was it for not to be quite that long, but the sign on the right tonight, Toby, we are back.
Yeah, absolutely. Perfect there, isn't it? And I think you're absolutely right. Going back all that time, I don't think there's anybody, not just in the Coventry City fan base, but around English football, that would have thought it would have taken this amount of time, given how long they're in the top flight. But it just goes to show how hard it is when you do fall out and then you can tumble down the leagues to get them back up. Brandon Thomas-Asante there, it's a fantastic story. One for any maybe aspiring player, who's playing a little bit lower down, that, if you dedicate yourself and, you apply yourself, the opportunities will be there. And he's had a real big contribution at times, as all those players have. It's been a real team effort. Yes, they've had some outstanding individuals. Carl Rushworth in goal, for me, has been the keeper of the season. You could go through the whole team, Matt Grimes, but at points of the season, all players have stepped up and had big contributions, and ultimately that's why they've been not just the best team, but the best squad. And that isn't always an easy thing to manage, but that's one thing that Frank Lampard's done ever so well this season.
And now they are up, Tim. How much will they want to go up as champions?
Oh, absolutely. It's all about lifting trophies. Like I said, when I was at Portsmouth, we managed to get over the line. Leicester were chasing us, and we didn't want that. We wanted to be champions. We didn't want that taken away from us. So, they were concentrating on that, hence why they're only having a couple of beers tonight.
So it's going to be more than a couple, though, isn't it?
Of course it is. I mean, surely it is. Come on, Frank. You're not that tough.
1 point, more pints, I think. That's probably the way to sum it up. Look, our time is done here. It's finally gone quiet in the away end, the Darwin end to our left, which was packed with 7,500 Coventry fans. They did not want to go, did they? But they've had to head home.